A strong hold over current affairs is your way to succeed in the UPSC Civil Services examination. Brace yourself and get detailed coverage of relevant news both nationally and internationally. With the monthly current affairs revision program starting from 26th October at 5 p.m. Enroll today and elevate your current affairs knowledge with comprehensive coverage of current affairs compiled through relevant sources such as the Hindu Indian Express, Economic Times, PIB Yojana, and others. Expert support and personalized mentoring. Comprehensive assessment through MCQs and mains-oriented questions.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's have a look at the headlines first. United Kingdom became first country to stop electricity production from coal. Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana PMMY loan limit increased to 20 lakh rupees. 7th India-Germany Inter-Governmental Consultations IGC concluded. Meta and India AI unveiled the Center for Generative AI Shrijan at IIT Jodhpur. New guidelines for import of live seaweeds into India notified. Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying launches Pandemic Fund project. In our first news, we have significant news regarding energy production in the United Kingdom. The UK has officially become the first country to cease electricity production from coal. This landmark decision came with the closure of its last coal-based power plant, marking the end of 142 years of coal-generated electricity, which constituted 40% of the nation's electricity needs back in 2012. Interestingly, the world's first coal plant opened in London in 1882. In contrast, India installed its first major thermal power plant, the Hussain Sagar Thermal Power Station in Hyderabad in 1920. Now, let's discuss the reasons behind this crucial move to close coal-based electricity production. One of the primary concerns is pollution. The energy sector contributes to around 3/4 of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the International Energy Agency. Furthermore, there are limitations in existing commitments. The IEA states that even with full achievement of current pledges, it would be challenging to meet the Paris Agreement goal of limiting temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. On a positive note, the feasibility of renewable technologies is improving. These technologies are now sufficiently scalable, backed by fast-growing investments in research and energy storage. Transitioning now to the constraints involved in closing coal-based power plants. Reliance on coal is a significant factor. Low and middle-income countries, particularly fast-growing economies like India and China, heavily depend on coal to meet their energy and employment needs. Additionally, there's an economic impact to consider. The fleet of coal-fired power plants in countries like China and India is relatively new, meaning that a shift away from coal could lead to substantial financial losses. Moreover, there are challenges with renewable energy, including intermittency, capital costs, and a lack of policy clarity. So, what is the current status in India? As of September 2024, coal constitutes around 70% of India's total generation capacity. The country has set an ambitious target to achieve net zero emissions by 2070. In pursuit of this goal, the Indian government has initiated several key programs to promote renewable energy adoption, including the National Green Hydrogen Mission, PM Kusum, PM Surya Ghar, and PLI schemes for solar PV modules. In summary, while the UK's transition away from coal marks a significant step in the fight against climate change, India faces its own set of challenges and commitments as it strives for a sustainable energy future. Now let's talk about a significant update to the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana or PMMY. In alignment with the Finance Minister's recent announcement in the Union Budget 2024-25, the loan limit under PMMY has now been increased to 20 lakh rupees. This adjustment supports the mission of funding the unfunded, aimed at providing a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem for budding entrepreneurs. Now, let's dive into the key changes of Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. To start, A new category called Tarun Plus has been introduced. This category is exclusively for loans above 10 lakh rupees and up to 20 lakh rupees. Now, the question is, who is eligible? Well, entrepreneurs who have already availed of and successfully repaid previous loans under the Tarun category are eligible to apply for loans under Tarun Plus. Moving on to the guarantee coverage. Loans up to 20 lakh rupees will now be secured under the Credit Guarantee Fund for Micro Units or CGFMU. Additionally, the CGFMU may, at its discretion, approve or exclude certain institutions or schemes from guarantee coverage. It's noteworthy that the CGFMU was established in 2016 and operates under the National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited, which is wholly owned by the Government of India. Now let's talk a bit about the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana itself. PMMY was launched back in 2015 with a clear objective to provide easy, collateral-free microcredit of up to 10 lakh rupees. Any Indian citizen with a viable business plan for non-corporate, non-farm income-generating activities in sectors such as manufacturing, processing, trading or services is eligible to apply. To facilitate this, Mudra or the Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency Limited extends funding to banks, non-banking financial institutions or NBFCs as well as microfinance institutions or MFIs. PMMY offers three types of loan options: Shishu, Kishore and Tarun. Shishu covers loans up to 50,000 rupees. Kishore covers loans above 50,000 rupees and up to 5 lakh rupees. And Tarun extends to loan above 5 lakh rupees up to 10 lakh rupees. In conclusion, with these enhancements, the PMMY continues its commitment to empowering micro-entrepreneurs across the country by easing financial access and facilitating growth. This increase in loan limits, especially under the new Tarun Plus category, marks a progressive step in supporting India's entrepreneurial ecosystem. Let's move on to the next news, where we bring you the highlights from the 7th India-Germany Inter-Governmental Consultations or IGC, which recently concluded. Co-chaired by Prime Minister of India and the Federal Chancellor of Germany during his visit to India, the consultations had the motto, "Growing together with innovation, mobility and sustainability." Now let's delve into the key outcomes of the IGC. Firstly, both nations called for UN Security Council reform and urged text-based negotiations at the intergovernmental negotiations within a fixed time frame. In addition, they emphasized the importance of adhering to UN Charter principles, condemning any threats or use of force against the sovereignty and territorial integrity of nations. Moving forward, the IGC concluded a mutual legal assistance treaty in criminal matters, which will enable the sharing of information, evidence, and best practices, as well as mutual capacity building. Furthermore, they established an agreement on the exchange and mutual protection of classified information, creating a legal framework for handling and transmitting classified information securely. The discussions also led to the establishment of a regional consultation on West Asia and North Africa, or WANA, between the respective foreign ministries, in addition to the existing dialogue mechanism on Africa and East Asia. Both nations committed to promoting a free, open, inclusive, peaceful and prosperous Indo-Pacific built on international law. Additionally, they pledged to fully implement the Migration and Mobility Partnership Agreement, or MMPA, aimed at improving mobility and employment opportunities while addressing irregular migration and human trafficking. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on the long-standing relationship between India and Germany. The two countries have maintained a strategic partnership since 2000, further strengthened by the launch of the IGC in 2011. This partnership encompasses various areas of cooperation. In terms of multilateral cooperation, both nations support each other on UNSC reforms within the G4 framework. Looking at economic relations, Germany was India's 12th largest trading partner in 2022-23, with India constituting about 1% of Germany's total foreign trade in the same year. Lastly, in the realm of sustainability, The Indo-German Energy Forum, or IGEF, continues to promote collaboration in priority areas such as energy security, efficiency, and renewable energy.
In an exciting development for the future of artificial intelligence, Meta, in collaboration with MeitY and the All India Council for Technical Education, has unveiled the Center for Generative AI named Shrijan at IIT Jodhpur. Alongside this initiative, the Yuva AI initiative for skilling and capacity building was also launched. Let's take a closer look at the Center for Generative AI, Shrijan. The aim of the center is to identify and empower the next generation of AI innovators and entrepreneurs. It will focus on using open source AI and exploring the possibilities in large language models or LLMs. Over the next 3 years, Shrijan intends to nurture 100,000 youth developers and entrepreneurs in essential AI skills. Transitioning to the Yuva AI initiative, its primary goal is to bridge the AI talent gap in India. This program seeks to empower 100,000 students and young developers aged 18 to 30 to leverage open source LLMs to tackle real-world challenges. Now, what exactly is generative AI? This technology refers to deep learning models that can generate high-quality text, images, and other content based on the data they have been trained on. It builds on existing technologies, particularly large language models, which utilize machine learning to recognize and interpret human languages. The significance of generative AI cannot be overstated. Currently, the overall AI employment in India is estimated at around 416,000 professionals, with the sector expected to grow at a rate of 20 to 25%. Moreover, it is projected to contribute an additional $957 billion to India's economy by 2035. However, challenges remain, including issues related to data privacy and security, a lack of regulation, and inadequate availability of AI experts. In our next news update, we focus on the newly notified guidelines for the import of live seaweeds into India, as announced by the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy. These guidelines are designed to facilitate the import of high-quality seed materials from abroad. They aim to promote seaweed enterprises in coastal villages while ensuring environmental protection and addressing biosecurity concerns within the sector. Now let's delve into the need for these guidelines. Seaweeds being submerged in water are subject to various environmental conditions, such as fluctuating salinity levels and temperature changes. This unique habitat exposes them to biosecurity risks, as seaweeds can harbor diseases, pests, and pathogens. Additionally, biological factors including differences in reproductive strategies and genetics may lead to the persistence of seaweed in new environments. With this context, let's discuss the specific guidelines. Notably, no live seaweed imports will be permitted if they are known to carry pathogens or if they are listed under CITES or the IUCN's threatened list. Exceptions will only be made if the material is certified by the exporting country's competent authority. Furthermore, importing live seaweed requires a valid permit from the Department of Fisheries, Government of India, along with clearance from the National Committee on Introduction of Exotic Aquatic Species into Indian waters. Importantly, direct sales of imported seaweed in either the domestic or international markets will not be allowed. Additionally, neither exporters nor importers may claim any intellectual property rights on the imported materials. Moving on to a brief overview of seaweeds. They are a common name for various species of marine plants and algae found in oceans, rivers, lakes, and other water bodies. Notable examples include Capophycus alvarezii, the red algae Gelidelia acirosa, and Gracilaria edulis. These seaweeds have diverse applications, spanning laboratories, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, cardboard paper, paint, and processed foods. Currently, India's seaweed production stands at only 34,000 tons, significantly lower than the potential of around 9.7 million tons per year. In response, the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, or PMMSY, is a flagship scheme aimed at increasing the country's seaweed production to over 1.12 million tons by 2025. In a significant move towards enhancing animal health security, the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying has launched the Pandemic Fund project. This initiative focuses on animal health security strengthening in India for pandemic preparedness and response. To provide further support, the Minister also unveiled documents on standard veterinary treatment guidelines and a crisis management plan for animal diseases, which are critical for effective response strategies. Now let's delve deeper into the details of the Pandemic Fund project. This is a $25 million initiative funded by the G20 Pandemic Fund, established under Indonesia's G20 presidency in 2022. Its primary aim is to enhance the capacity of low and middle-income countries to respond effectively to animal health threats and pandemics through financing investments. The implementation will be carried out by reputable entities including the Asian Development Bank, the World Bank, and the Food and Agriculture Organization. As we consider the importance of this initiative, it's essential to address the need to focus on preventing zoonotic diseases. Notably, 5 out of 6 public health emergencies declared by the World Health Organization have had animal origins. Moreover, the socio-economic impacts can be severe. For instance, the SARS outbreak and avian flu have led to estimated global economic losses of $50 billion and $30 billion respectively. Transitioning now to the major interventions under the project, these include the upgradation and expansion of animal health laboratories and vaccine manufacturing facilities. Additionally, the project aims to enhance early warning and surveillance mechanisms to detect outbreaks and facilitate timely interventions. There will also be upgrades to data management and analytical systems for better risk assessment. Furthermore, addressing cross-cutting institutional capacity gaps at national and regional levels is essential, employing a disaster management framework tailored for the livestock sector. In conjunction with this project, India has been proactive in improving animal health through various initiatives. One key program is the National Animal Disease Control Program, aimed at controlling and eradicating foot and mouth disease and brucellosis. Additionally, the Rashtriya Gokul Mission focuses on the development and conservation of indigenous bovine breeds, ultimately enhancing their productivity. In today's Place in News, we turn our focus to Italy, a country known for its rich history and stunning landscapes, with its capital being Rome. Recently, Italy made headlines as a venue for the first India-Italy bilateral cyber dialogue, highlighting the strengthening ties between the two nations. Now, let's explore some key political features of Italy. Located in South-Central Europe, Italy shares land boundaries with several countries, including France, Switzerland, Austria, and Slovenia to the north. It is bordered by the Mediterranean Sea and the Ionian Sea to the south, as well as the Adriatic Sea to the east and the Tyrrhenian Sea to the west. Moving on to the geographical features. Italy is home to major rivers such as the Po, Adige, and Tiber. The highest point in the country is Monte Bianco, also known as Mont Blanc, which attracts many climbers and tourists. Finally, Italy experiences a predominantly Mediterranean climate characterized by warm, dry summers and mild, wet winters.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. The Supreme Court is set to hear petitions contesting the marital rape exception under Section 375 and Section 63 of the Indian Penal Code, as well as the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita BNS 2023. In the case of Joseph Shrijan versus Union of India 2018, the court held that this exception stems from the doctrine of coverture. Under English common law, the legal doctrine treats a married woman as being under the authority of her husband, considering them as a single legal entity. The Union Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying launched 21st Livestock Census to have updated data on livestock population, allowing the government to address key issues like disease control, breed improvement, and rural livelihoods. The 21st Livestock Census is scheduled to take place from October 2024 to February 2025. Israel launched a Spice 2000 bomb to destroy a building in Lebanon. The Spice 2000 bomb is a guidance kit that can be attached to 2,000-pound bombs to carry out precision strikes. Manufactured by Israel's government-owned Rafael Advanced Defense Systems, its key features include autonomous operation and tactical flexibility in trajectory. Recently, the Asiatic golden cat, Catopuma tempminki, was spotted at Assam's Manas National Park. This species is found in tropical and subtropical evergreen forests, mixed and dry deciduous forests, and tropical rainforests. Its range extends across the northeastern Indian subcontinent, Southeast Asia, and China. Recently, the Nature Conservation Index, or NCI 2024, was released, revealing India's rank at 176 out of 180 countries. Developed by the Goldman Sonnenfeld School of Sustainability and Climate Change at Ben Gurion University of Negev and biodb.com. Niti Aayog recently raised questions about the necessity of flue gas desulfurization or FGD installations in India thermal power plants. FGD is a scrubbing technique which uses an alkaline reagent, sodium or calcium-based, to remove sulfur dioxide from flue gas of fossil-fueled power stations or coal-fired power plants. Greenwashing, free riding, and outdated certification systems raise questions about sustainable certification systems. Greenwashing involves making false claims on eco-friendly credentials of a company without meeting required standards, while free riding enables businesses to benefit from the positive image of certifications without genuinely implementing sustainable practices. NASA recently unveiled the Engineering Development Unit telescope, a prototype built for the LISA mission. This mission, led by the European Space Agency or ESA in collaboration with NASA, aims to be the first space-based observatory dedicated to studying gravitational waves. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solutions to the quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description below.